And I'm very excited to have you here also to talk a little bit about the projects that we've done in the last year, because there were so many, right? There's so much stuff that NMaker has done, and I'm extremely proud of what we've achieved and the people that we worked with, and just in general the chances that we created for everyone to get into the Cardano and NFT space in general. So maybe what was your highlight last year? What was your favorite project, or one of the favorite projects, or a few maybe, whatever you like?
Yeah, sure. And I think we can combine this with the story of Alphonse, who's asking about how I would use NFTs in storytelling. And one of the projects that right away popped into my mind is, of course, the wonderful Lanketsu. Back then they were called Ada Ninjas. And I still remember the day when Tommy and Sushan approached me. Before they had one community member on Discord, and they pitched the idea of telling a story by having NFTs in place that you can use for voting for the story. So what they did, and Alphonse, I think this is a wonderful use case of storytelling. They hired a team of writers who wrote the manga, and on certain points during this storytelling, you could pick as a community member if the character does A or B, if the story moves that way or this way. And then the community could decide. I think it was one NFT, one vote. And then the writers kept writing, and they developed the story in that direction. And I think this is a wonderful way how you can combine NFTs with storytelling. In addition to that, my background was storytelling, yes, or is storytelling, but it's even more getting creative people in the position that they feel safe enough that they can start storytelling to tell a story, because there are a lot of people out there who are a lot better than I am in storytelling. Back in the days, it were the directors and the actors, and nowadays it's people like Sushan and Tommy and the wonderful Ignacio, who is the storyteller behind the Danketsu, and getting those people in a position where they can tell a story and get the community on board with that. I think this is something where we did a great job with NMaker.
I completely agree, and I think we're only just getting started, and we have so much more to come in the next year and years to come. And it started off amazingly well with some great people that we met in the space, like Sushan and Tommy and many others as well, that just were super positive and really saw NFTs as an opportunity to build something completely new. And that's what it's about for me as well, to just create innovative new things using blockchain technology. We're not here to do the same things over and over again. A lot of the stuff that we do are experiments, right? It's maybe it works, maybe it doesn't work, but if it works, it's going to be amazing. And if it doesn't work, we're on to the next thing. And I think we had a lot of projects like that. One of the latest projects that I personally think is really cool, that has nothing really, or maybe a little bit actually, now that I think about, to do with storytelling, is the UNHCR project. Can you tell us a little bit about that? And also, Blockchain Paris, you went there. What did you experience? What were your thoughts?
It was a crazy time, a crazy couple of days in Paris, because the fair took place under the Louvre. And there everyone talked about the future and technology, how we can change the world. And outside in Paris, there were the riots taking place with 800,000 people on the streets every day. And this was like a field of energy. And I like to have that when I'm telling a story, field of energy where you have like the poles set apart, and in between there is storytelling taking place. And for me, Blockchain Week Paris was such an event. And what we did with the United Nations and the Refugee Agency was that they approached us through the Cardano Foundation, and they asked for help to get an NFT fundraising in place that is in addition to what they do with the stake pool and the Cardano Foundation. And what I really loved is how open they were, that they said from the get-go, okay, maybe it will fail. Maybe we're not going to sell hundreds of thousands of NFTs, but it's a first step in a direction we like. And this is where we teamed up with Turf, and they have created those amazing NFT designs. Shout out, you say, right? Shout out to Turf. Because they put in place what the UNHCR wanted to get. 2 different donation spots, one for Ukraine to help the underfunded crisis in Ukraine, and the other one to help underfunded crisis worldwide. And you could pick one of those NFTs, and the donation goes right away to those projects. And I think it's a wonderful way to donate money if you're into Web3, if you're into the blockchain space, and you have some spare ADA left, and you would like to make sure that the money goes to a project where you really can track and you know that the money is spent in a wise way. I think what this will open to a lot of projects is that you don't have to look up for a charity project yourself anymore. You don't have to browse through the web, talk to people, and you don't know if the shelter for the animals, very important, but if it's something in your local town that you can trust, right? So with the UNHCR, I think we got one of those core pillar projects in place where everyone knows, okay, that's a name that will do what they say they are to do. And we will grow this now. We started with NFT week, blockchain week in Paris, and we will be in consensus as well. And we will do all those big conferences. And UNHCR will be on the ground, promoting Cardano, promoting what we do together here with Turf and NMKR. And I think it's a wonderful project. And if projects are into donations, then they should definitely check it out. And maybe they are willing to redirect 10% or 20% of their funds to this wonderful, amazing project, because this is where the money is really needed.
Yeah, I agree. And I think it's very important also from just a business perspective and also like a blockchain adoption perspective to set these precedents and say, okay, we are doing this project now. We are doing this to prove that it actually works as expected, that it actually solves real problems, and once we have a few of those like proven use cases out there where blockchain can come in and where NFTs can come in to make things better, it's a lot easier to get new projects come to us, and we can talk to more agencies around the world that want to use NFTs for charity and stuff like that. And it's not only charity, it's every single aspect, basically every single aspect where NFTs can make sense. And and that's why I'm very excited for this particular project as well. But of course, many other projects as well, which we have in the pipeline. Maybe last question before I let you go. What else do we have anything that we can share? I have no idea, to be honest, if there's anything that we can share already. And what are you most excited for in the next coming months?
So what we did back in the days with the other ninjas was we provided them a platform where they could sell their first collection, 8,888 NFTs, within a couple of hours, and it was just about the NFTs getting sold, right? And I really like what we did beginning of this year, shifting towards like startups and companies who are building on top of NMKR to create their own ecosystem. And the best examples for that from my head are, of course, Project New with the record store now. Then we have the wonderful people behind Book.io with the ebooks platform. And then we have Newcast.io, the decentralized streaming platform. And what I really like in regards to Newcast is that they not only implemented video on demand, that you buy an NFT and you can watch the movie whenever you want, wherever you want, but now they implemented live streaming. And I think this will open the doors to get like a hybrid model between Netflix and YouTube on the Cardano blockchain. And I think a lot of people did not yet realize how big this will be. because we will have a lot of events where we do live streaming, and those are the things I'm excited about because I know what's coming. I'm not allowed to talk about it yet, but I know what's coming. But having big superstars streaming live from events on the Cardano blockchain, token gated by NFTs minted with NMKR, I think this is something very, very exciting. And in addition to that, I think that in combination with that, ticketing can be very, very helpful. And we are developing a couple of things in regards to ticketing, how we can get this in place that you buy a ticket and then you get a QR code and it's randomized every couple of seconds. So when you're at the venue, it gets scanned and then it's redeemed. And I think if we then combine the dots between ticketing, live streaming, music, and ebooks and everything, then we're talking about an entertainment platform, entertainment ecosystem on the Cardano blockchain, where I then, with my background, can approach all the big IPs and all the people I know from back in the days and tell them, okay, we are ready for you to take the next step in regards to storytelling on the blockchain.
That sounds extremely exciting, and I'm very excited myself. I think NFTs can reshape the way that we interact with ownership of media. We went from a world where everyone was just getting more and more streaming services, subscriptions, and so on, and you're not really owning the stuff anymore. Like back in the day, if you bought a video game, you owned the video game and you can play it like 30 years later. And now if Steam shuts down, I can't really play most of my games anymore. And the same with Kindle and the same with Spotify and Netflix and so on. So NFTs are bringing back that ownership aspect. And I think, Book.io is an amazing example of that, and Ucast, of course, and many other projects. Also Project New, who I'm a big fan of, is bringing digital rights back to the actual holders or people that want to purchase the music, right? So yeah, that's very cool. I'm gonna let you leave now. Maybe I'm gonna bring up Victor quickly to the stage if he's here or not.
I want to say one more thing.
Okay, one more thing.
Because I think you're 100% right, and it's very important that we keep in mind that true ownership is something on the blockchain that only makes sense if the blockchain is 100% decentralized. If we don't have that in place, then we will replace one monopoly like Amazon with another monopoly like Ethereum, for example, just picking one of them, right? So this is why it's so important to do this with a true ownership, but on a 100% decentralized blockchain. And this is what we are fighting for every day.